conversation now as well. Retired Colonel Miri Eisin, senior fellow at the International Institute for Counterterrorism at Reichman University. Miri, great to have you with us as always. We were just hearing the update as far as how Israel is diminishing Iran's missile capabilities and how we're feeling that here in Israel as well. We're seeing smaller and smaller barrages being fired from Iran, but there are also some fears that as we diminish more of these missile launchers, decreasing the number of missiles that Iran can fire, Iran will then start using some larger, more complex missiles like the cluster bomb that we saw in Haifa yesterday. Can these two things be correlated?
They are correlated, but at the end, we still do need to breathe in deep. I find it interesting that in the background to Ariel, you could see destruction in Tel Aviv, and then you could see what Israel is doing. It's really hard to compare right now the two. Iran has tried to launch against Israel in the last 9 days. The biggest barrage they did was 50. Nicole, let's put things into proportion. I, at least, before this started, would have told you that they would send a barrage of 200 or even of 300 missiles at once. And look, all they've managed to do is 50, go down to 40, go down to 30. And yes, perhaps they'll be able to go back up, but we are destroying those launchers. But I need to add into it, we're not only attacking launchers. That's the portion both to protect us against what Iran is firing against us. We're also attacking the drone sites. But let's be clear, today, in the last 24, 48 hours, Israel is also continuously attacking the nuclear facilities, the nuclear sites. We've really put out there 5 different types of targets that we are consistently attacking. And that term that I never thought I'd be saying, air superiority over Iran, means that not only are we hunting, as Ariel said, the launchers, we're also hunting to a large degree anything that is anti-aircraft. We want to make sure we keep that air superiority, but we are targeting in a very sophisticated way both the Revolutionary Guard, the nuclear sites, the hierarchy decision makers within the different terror apparatus, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the nuclear apparatus, the air and space, as they call that. We're continuously doing that. And in the last 24 hours, again, we've been hitting very center people and hitting very center sites.
And with these nuclear sites, we're 9 days in, Miri, and the big question still remains is whether or not the United States will get involved and strike those nuclear facilities that Israel might not be able to fully strike without some major consequences by themselves. But is Israel ready for the possibility that the United States will not get involved? Do they have other means to take out, for example, Fordo without these bunker busters from the United States?
What we've been doing over the last 9 days is we've been attacking some of these different nuclear sites time and time again. That's what you do when you don't have a type of munition that can go the whole way in. Even think about it of erosion, even inside, your house or whatever you're doing. If you hit something and you hit it again and you hit it again, it does some erosion. It is something that will, in time, also be able to take care. I think that Israel's the military strategic plan of attacking all of these very, as I said, 5 different categories, but diverse targets. We're not going back to all of them all the time, but we're going back to the nuclear ones time and again, making sure that we both hit, that we're destroying, that we're demolishing those capabilities. I do think we have that capability. Nicole, what we all understand is that if we do it like that, it can take a lot longer. And at the end, it's about the both effectiveness, not just the efficiency. Here we are sitting in our safe rooms talking a lot about the incoming, what does get through, because most of what Iran is firing and sending against us does not get through. And so we do need to have a timetable on how long we, in the home front can keep going ourselves this way.
And what is that timetable, Miri? How long is Israel prepared for this? Because the chief of command says that this could be a long war with Iran.
Chief of Staff is the one who knows better than anybody else in that sense the capabilities of Israel and what the game plan is militarily. Militarily, we can continue like this. Certainly, I'm even going to say weeks. But I didn't bring Nicole with me into, I'm also a wandering Jew between places that have safe rooms because I don't have one in my house. Wow. I didn't bring my crystal ball, and I don't mean to be silly about it. I think it's a really important question for all of us. I think that we really want to let the Israeli Defense Forces, let the Israeli Air Force continue doing its systematic attacking and targeting of the 5 different types of groups of targets. One of those groups is to try as much as possible to diminish what's coming into Israel, the missiles and the drones. The other 4 groups in attacking the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, in keeping down the air defense, in attacking the nuclear sites themselves, but also in attacking the facilities where they make the missiles and the drones, those same missiles and drones that they have exported both to Hezbollah and to the Houthis that have been used against us so extensively. So my crystal ball says, give it a week or 2. If the United States steps in, it changes all of the equation. That's something different. That's coordination. The Iranians have tried so many times to threaten the United States from stepping in that I think that they would have the Iranians would have an automatic reaction to fire against U.S. Targets, and that immediately would change everything, the dynamics of what's going on right now.
And over the next several weeks then, during this possibly prolonged war, Miri, how can Israel continue to keep this Western support, even if the United States does not get military involved? We have seen these 5 key assets that Israel continues to target, as you mentioned, but is this a way to continue to maintain this Western support as the IDF maintains air superiority over the skies of Iran?
I think that what we've done in Iran shows very clearly when you're targeting, this is a country, it's 86 million people. It has a very strong military industry. It has a very strong capability, both of industry, of high tech, they're very educated. And I say that because we're being very specific in our targets. And I think that in that sense, as long as we continue with the very clear cut Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the air and space, these different type of targets, the world is not against us. The fact that the world is afraid from the Islamic regime's threats, Nicole, that's something we could talk about from here to eternity. I do a lot of talking on the international media, and I don't attack them, but I'm sharing with our viewers that I find it very frustrating that what everybody is worried about is, oh no, they'll be attacked. As long as it's only Israel, it's okay. And excuse my sarcasm in the air, because part of that, in that sense, is what will the world do? There is an aspect also that we need to be aware of, which is economic at the end. That pathway that is right next to Iran, and Iran is also part of it, is the main export for oil, for gas, for the world, that whole aspect there. And when that starts to get really disrupted, the world will step in. When the oil prices really jump, and they're already jumping, it's going to affect Japan and China and Germany and all these different countries. So we can't ignore the world. And what we're doing now, it's not that it's a service to the world, it's going against the worst type of regime that was building these capabilities. As long as they let us do it, let us keep on doing it.
Retired Colonel Miri Eisin with insightful analysis as always. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Nicole.